advances to the Final Four.
Shout out Chillinois Basketball Podcast.
Shout out to Chillinois Podcast.
Shout out Chillinois Podcast.
Shout out Chillinois Basketball, man.
The Illini will face Northwestern on Wednesday night in Champaign, coming off their second consecutive road win over a top 5 ranked opponent. Noah, I would like to spend another half an hour to an hour talking about that Nebraska game because we've had fans in our comments, Nebraska fans especially in our comments on Reddit, on YouTube, giving us crap, and I just want to respond to them all and just like hold this L.
What do these Reddit dweebs have to say? These chubs.
I mean, if we're gonna dive into it, I guess we can start off with this. I was just arguing with some Reddit. I posted our recap in the Nebraska Reddit forum, like r/Huskers or whatever. And honestly, it started off pretty civil. The first comment on it was like something about, let me see here. I agreed with the first guy's comment. He said like good game to the Illini. What did he say? Ronnie 1014. He said poorest performance of the season, and it took 24 games to get there. Getting rest will be great to make a run at the end of the season here. A lot has been accomplished, but there's so much left on the table. I responded, got a lot of respect for this Nebraska team. Rink Mass definitely wasn't fully fit and played a big part. If this is Nebraska's poorest performance, that's a pretty high floor, meaning the ceiling is even higher. So I was like, wow, Nebraska fans know what they're talking about. Like they took this loss in stride. And then I had a guy come on, Hambone 528. Of course, his name is Hambone.
What fucking ham bone, bro?
Yeah.
What is he talking about? What
So
does he
when
got to say?
He was telling me about, let's see here.
I already know he's up to some bullshit.
Or I might have called out the wrong guy, actually. No, I think it was Hambone.
Damn. My apologies, Hambone. My apologies. But you know who I do still have beef with is original book.
We are original bug haters here. But continuing on, yeah, no, I'm sorry. It was Impressive Phone 958, who, believe it or not, has now removed his post in response to me. When I responded to him, he removed his post. So, but essentially, he was saying that the refs were controlling the game, and that if it weren't for the refs, that Nebraska would have won this basketball game. I'm not sure Big Ten refs influence a 9-point win in either way. What it came down to me was just Nebraska stopped hitting their threes in a line, and the Illinois team played better defense.
Well, it's because they see the free throw discrepancy and they're like, "Oh my God, what are you?" But it's
That
like,
was his argument, and I could see if you're a fan of the other team that would be really annoying. But then I told him to go look it up. Like the Illini's defensive scheme is fully built around the fact that they play defense without fouling, and that's been the case all year. So I hit him with the maybe do your research, and then he hit me with the maybe do your research before the Michigan and before the Illinois game. Nebraska was also in the top 10 for defense without fouling. And then I responded and said something like, well, that makes sense because when you play Michigan with a 7-footer and Morez Johnson, and then you play Illinois with 2 7-footers and David Mirkovich in back-to-back games, you're probably going to foul a team a lot more because you're playing more physically defensively. And then he went on a tangent in response to that, talking about how this Illinois team isn't that physical because Keaton Wagler only weighs 135 pounds. And that's where we really went off the rails. And I was like, first of all, buddy, we have 7'2", 7'1", and 6'9", all over 100, like all over 240 pounds coming at you in our front court. So I could go on and on with Nebraska fans all day. Nonetheless, we split the season series. We're moving on to Northwestern, Noah. This is exactly what this Illinois team can't do. They cannot dwell on previous wins. They cannot look ahead at games like Michigan State. They need to stay in the moment. They need to go 1-0 against every team, and they need to continue to rob the fucking bank.
I want to say this guy commented on one of our shorts and said, "What the hell are you even talking about?" Hey, bro, get off our page, bro. Stop hating. And I think that was original bug in disguise. God damn it.
I almost responded in response to that comment. I almost said to him, "Why don't you watch the full podcast and find out?" So for those of you that are watching the full podcast, or at least more than 30 seconds of the shorts that we put out on it on YouTube and Instagram, thank you for doing so. We need to move into this Northwestern game because there is another one coming up on Wednesday, and I'm sure Brad Underwood and the Illini are game planning for it. If they're not, I don't know what else they'd be doing. I hope they're not partying or busy rewatching the Nebraska highlights. It's another important game. It's a Big Ten game. It's at home. I would say the Illini, I mean, they might even have a Vegas spread right now. Let me check. but I would say the Illini are probably at least 20-point favorites in this one. Um, I'm not sure I would take a
20
20
seems
point
like a
victory.
lot to me.
Yeah, I'd agree, but let me
Ken
see
Palm
here.
might have the line. I doubt Vegas would have it out yet. What?
18 and a half at the time of recording. So Monday night at 10:29 p.m. Central Time, but 18 and a half. I'm not sure I would take that. I think this game is going to be closer. This might be a game where we see Illini fans like, oh, we only beat Northwestern at home by 11 points. But like it's another Big Ten win. And also, by the way, I have the full Balkan tracksuit on right now just because we were in full Balkan tracksuits at the previous Northwestern game, so I thought it was only fitting to continue that trend. And while I'm on the trend of clothes here, while I'm on the same topic, I'm gonna pull a little Cliff Alexander hat switch on y'all right here because I did get a new Chillinois basketball hat from a dear friend of mine, Hannah Moore. Thank you for that birthday present. And if you guys are interested, I posted it on the story just a few minutes ago. We could make merch for you guys. So if you're interested, let us know. We've done a
So
lot
so
of
you
talking
got
about
you got chicks making hats for you. I don't have any chicks making hats for me. If there's any ladies out there that want to make me a custom hat, send it my way, please.
Hannah is one of my best friends, and she is in marketing for a company. So she's really good at like putting merch together really quickly on like custom ink or whatever. I think anybody could probably get that skill really quickly, but Hannah's like very good at it. So shout out to Hannah Moore. Her father actually was Jeff Moore on the podcast earlier when we were talking about Tennessee. But we've done
Shout
everything
out.
but talk about Northwestern in the first, what, 8 minutes of this so far. So um are you seeing any problems? Are you worried about this game? Do you think this is a trap game for the Illini? We always talk about it. These midweek games every week seem to be trap games because we have a big game on the weekend and then we'll play like Minnesota or we'll play Penn State in the middle of the week and it's like, well, we can't be looking too far ahead at that Michigan State game. So are you at all concerned with this timing of this Northwestern game? It is at home, which I think will bode well for this team, but uh how do you see this one going? 18 and a half points. Are we covering that? Are we keeping it closer? Is Northwestern
It's
winning
going
this?
to be an interesting game. I want to say that we'll be able to cover that. I mean, if you asked me a couple months ago, I was under the impression that Northwestern's one of those teams that we always have a problem with, and they usually are. But this year's team, like we've said every episode, they're just a little bit different. So I don't think they're going to have a problem with this Northwestern team, especially the second time around. They kind of saw what they saw. I mean, if that little short dude goes off again, I'm going to lose my mind. I mean, we were there in person. We saw it happen. He was going crazy. And he's like probably shorter than me. And I got to give him his props. I mean, it was very, very good, but I don't see that performance happening a second time. So as long as I'm assuming Martinelli's going to play. I mean, I don't know what their injury report looks like, but as long as they can contain him, which, they won't have Kylan, so it's going to be a little tricky. But again, it's at home, and now you have a team that can score even more. So Northwestern's going to have to just shoot lights out to have any chance at beating Illinois.
Yeah, definitely the case there with Northwestern's going to have to get hot, which that's not something they've really done all season. Martinelli will probably drop 25. I think he's leading the nation in scoring right now. Shout out to Nick Martinelli because he did go to my high school, Glenbrook South High School in Glenview, Illinois. So got to shout out my Glenview guys. But I mean, he's one of the best scorers in the nation nonetheless. The fact of the matter is for Northwestern is they just don't have offensive weapons around him. So it's like we're just going to give the ball to Nick and he's going to score 25 and nobody else is going to do a thing. Now, Jaden, did we ever figure out his name? Was it Jaden Reed?
You're the tech guy, that's on you. You got to figure
I
that
have
one
so many
out.
tabs here. Hang on. It is Jaden Reed.
I'm the aura guy. I'm here for aura.
Yeah. Jaden Reed, he did put up quite the game against the Illini in the last one. No Kylan Boswell this time. Do you see that being a problem? Do you think Jaden Reed goes for more? Or I think the Illini have
There's
turned.
no way he goes for more. I can't, if he does, I mean, put this
Well, I
guy in the
mean,
league.
I mean, Kylan is not necessarily the tallest player, but he is taller than Jaden Reed, and he is our best on-ball defender. But we're gonna be sticking either Ben Humrickhouse, Andre Stojakovic at 6'7", or Keaton Wagler on him. Um,
Can you look up who's taller, Reed or Petrovic? Because it's probably pretty close.
well,
And I
Petrovic
would
is
put,
listed at 6 foot, and Jaden Reed's listed at 5'10".
there you go.
But they
I,
did look very similar in height when we saw them in person. I remember you pointed that out.
How tall is Blake Fagbemi listed?
5'9".
No way.
There's
Five
no way
foot,
they put Blake Fabemy higher than that. He's shorter than I am.
dude.
But he can dunk
How?
it. I can't dunk the ball. So shout out to
He's the
Blake.
most athletic player in the team, according to Brad
No, they put
Underwood.
him at 6 foot on ESPN. That's not true at all.
I feel like maybe you just threw out the 5'9" number. I mean, 5'9" is short for a basketball player.
Not when you can dunk like Blake Fagbemi can.
Well, Blake Fagbemi ain't playing, so he needs to worry about, getting on the court. I do like Blake Fagbemi. He shouted out Chillinois basketball, so we're a very pro Blake Fagbemi podcast.
I just wanted to check because I know you were like, oh, this game at State Farm Center, blah blah blah. I'm a little worried about this one. The last time Northwestern beat Illinois in State Farm Center, it was actually called Assembly Hall. It was January 17th of 2013. Um,
That's insane, actually.
Now I know they did have a good streak of games in Welsh Shrine Arena, so going to face them at home is never an easy task for this Illini team. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like this Illinois team is at a point
ESPN matchup predictor gives Northwestern an 8% chance to win. That's pretty low.
pretty low. And it just doesn't seem like this Illinois team is at a point where they're going to drop a game like this. I know it means a
Also,
little bit more to Northwestern.
Keaton Wagler and David Mirkovich have no picture on ESPN. Can we talk about that?
I kind of like that. They're silent assassins.
But it's like get a photo up. The kid's going to be a top five pick in the draft, and they don't have a photo up there. It's just wild.
Do you see any part of this game where Northwestern is just pissed off that they lost to Illinois, their little brother? They want to come into Champaign, do the whole walk in your trap, take over your trap thing. Max Green, freshman guard for them, has been playing, or I'm sorry, not Max Green. Jake West, freshman guard for them, has been playing pretty well in his last few games. Against Penn State, he had 13 assists. Against UCLA, didn't perform so well. But he did have that 13 assist game, and he kind of got everything going in their last Big Ten win against Penn State, who they did beat by 19 at home. They are 2-2 in their last 4 games in the Big Ten. They went on the road and beat USC. That was a weird game because USC was wearing pink jerseys, and normally Northwestern's in the purple or pink. So that one was a bit odd. Then they lost to UCLA by not, or sorry, by 7 points on the road. They did their whole West Coast trip. Then they came home, beat Penn State by 19. Sorry, 21 points. Remember, I don't do math very well, but they did win by 21 points. And then they
Don't get
lost,
original Buck started on the math. Oh my gosh.
and then they lost to Washington by 14 in their last home game. Um, Washington is a tougher matchup for Penn State to them, in my opinion, just because Hannes Steinbeck, like I don't think they have anybody that matches up with Hannes Steinbeck or Frank Ken, what's his name, Ken Pang. They have two nearly 7 footers, and if you have size against Northwestern, this is just not the year for Northwestern to be playing a team that has size. I would have to say, I know actually, upon reconsideration, I know I said earlier 18 and a half seems like a lot, but I forgot about the fact that Kylan Boswell still isn't playing, and therefore we put our Twin Towers lineup in a lot more. And I just don't see Northwestern having any answer for 7'2" Tomislav and 7'3" Zvonimir. You got Arrington Page in there, who was on draft boards at the beginning of the season. I think he's fallen off a little bit. He's been performing a little bit subpar as of recently, but he's only 6'10". And then I think your next tallest player is Martinelli, and he's only like 6'9". Does that, I mean, that certainly concerns you if you're if you're Collins, uh, like isn't the Northwestern coach, but I don't know. I'm thinking 18 and a half might be a little bit light here for the
You
Illini.
want to know what I think? This is what I think.
Please enlighten me.
I think
Back.
Babasic Ivasic will bring this team to quite possibly a 30-point victory. And this is early in the episode to predict it, but I don't think I think this Illinois team is so hot right now. And Northwestern, I mean, if they would have won that first game, I, could see like, oh, maybe they, think that they have our number. But dude, we stomped them in their home turf. And I was kind of worried that oh, well, we're not going to be at this one. Maybe the only reason they won the first time is because we were there. But I think there'll be enough, Illini fans at the game. I don't even know if 5% of the crowd's going to be Northwestern fans. I mean, there was barely any Northwestern fans in Evanston. So it's going to be rowdy. It's going to be a lot of Illini fans. I think I can't imagine Northwestern's going to shoot the ball very well. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe Martinelli will just go nuclear, which is very, very possible. But I just have a feeling they're going to get cold and not score very many points at all. Illinois defense going to continue to climb up the rankings in Ken Palm. I think Illinois' offense is going to click like it has been. I mean, seriously, I think it could be a bloodbath. And if you were to ask me, do you think it's more likely that Illinois wins by 2 or 30? I'd say it's more likely we win by 30, which is crazy to say, but for sure, I think that's the case.
It will be an intriguing matchup, but I do think if the Illini get started early and they get hot early, I'm not sure Northwestern has the answers to come back from if we open it up to 12 or 15 points, especially on the road. Um, point I want to make well, not point I want to make, actually, question I want to ask you. Uh, I brought it up last podcast and I eloquently titled this new segment on our podcast MVP besides Keaton. And that's what we're going with from here on out because I mean, we can't predict Keaton anymore. It's too obvious. He's clearly the best player on this team. So before we get to a game prediction, we'll get to a MVP prediction, and then we'll do the usual is Petrovic playing question. Um, but MVP besides Keaton Wagler. This is a new segment we're doing. Pick your MVP besides Keaton. You can't pick Keaton because it's the easiest
Yeah,
pick of all time. So
I'm trying to remember. I know the first game, I want to say I either picked Jake or Ben. I can't remember. I mean, obviously Keaton, you know, he's going to be the best player in Illinois. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. When you look at Northwestern though as a team, you kind of have to look at, who is, oh, what's happening? Bobasic Ivasic? He wants to make a prediction here. What's that? Your prediction is Mihailo Petrovic. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Bobasic. I think Mihailo Petrovic is gonna he's gonna get his chance now. Brad is like so high right now just on life. He doesn't give a shit. He's gonna be like, you know what? F it. Let's put Petrovic in the starting lineup. Who gives a shit? Let's spice it up. Let's get the media talking. Let's get everybody. Let's get buzz going around. So I think Petrovic is going to have his time to shine. He's been waiting for it. Brad's been waiting for it. I think Brad likes him. I think everybody likes him. It's just been a matter of these last couple games, they haven't played him because you look at the Purdue game, it was very, very close. You look at the uh, N- Nebraska game, it was, really, really close, pretty much the whole game. So it's like you can't really afford to play him, but you want him ready for March in case you need to play him. So what better time to play him than at home against one of the worst teams in the Big Ten, Northwestern, the Wildcats. So I think that they need to get him some minutes. I'd love to see 15 minutes, but anything more than 10 would be great. Um, but realistically, if I had to pick an MVP candidate, I think Tomislav right now is humming. I mean, he's firing on all cylinders. He's playing his best basketball this season right now. So either one of those two, if they start clicking, that's definitely my pick for the game.
all right, so I'm going to follow suit there and also say at least one of the Ivisic brothers is probably I almost said opposite of Keaton Wagler. That wouldn't be true, but they'll be the MVP besides Keaton Wagler. I think Tomislav, like I said in the last podcast, kind of got this team going early from three. Zvonimir didn't make a three in the last game, and he didn't take any either, which was extraordinarily impressive because he's the first one to chuck it up if he's the slightest bit open. But his impact, nonetheless, the two lobs, the block, multiple blocks actually. Between the two of them, I think they could have a huge game. I wouldn't be surprised if either or if both of them had a massive game. I just think their size is something Northwestern's not going to be able to contend with, especially if they're both on the floor at the same time. And then you already answered my question, and I asked you one question and you answered two of my questions. So you're thinking Petrovic plays 10 minutes here, at least. I mean, that's the wish at least, right?
Right, and that's the thing. Oh, my camera went out. Hold on. Just kidding. It's Babasic Ivasic.
He's back.
In all seriousness, now let's get serious for a second. Mihajlo Petrovic. Do I really think he's going to play 15 minutes? No, I don't. Do I think he's going to play more than 5 minutes? No, I don't. He should, but I don't think he will. Because Brad doesn't believe in him, I don't think. I think he likes him, but I don't think he believes in him. And I think he was trying to let us know that earlier in the season with the whole injury, like, oh, he's hurt. I don't know if how hurt he actually was. I think that maybe, sprained his toe or something like that. And then Brad was going to the doctor, and, he's like, hey, keep this guy out a little bit longer, maybe give him a nice whack on the foot or something like that. Keep him on the bench. But fans were like, when's he gonna play? You're holding him hostage. I mean, fans were really mad at Brad. They were like, when is Mihajlo playing? When's Mihajlo playing? And Brad's like, oh, well, he's hurt, this and that. And we're like, oh, we want to see him, And then he plays and he's booty cheeks. And now it's like, oh my gosh, just, just keep him on the bench at this point. But it's one of those situations where if you want him ready for March, you got to play him. And you don't want to have to rely on him in the Michigan State game. You don't want to have to rely on him in the Michigan game. You only have whatever 9 games left, however many that they have left. So this is a prime time opportunity to get Petrovic some minutes. I mean, I think Brad knows that, and at this rate, if he doesn't play him, I think it's simply just because of the fact that he doesn't believe in him at all in March, and he doesn't want him in March. It's like if I was on the team, he wouldn't want to put me in March, so I don't blame him. And I trust Brad at this point. So if that's his call, that's his call. I support it.
I mean, I'm going to support whatever Brad does, but I agree with the point that these games where we're not facing Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, Nebraska, the cream of the crop in the Big Ten, that's a time to cut out a role for these guys that don't play as much. Brandon Lee, Petrovic, obviously Jaxtis is on IR for the rest of the season. He with a blood clot in his shoulder. So best wishes to him. Um, and then Kylan's going to come back, but we need all the depth we can get. Um, the one thing I will point out, because we did mention it in the last episode where I said my friend had texted me and he was like, it's concerning that Illinois only played 7 players last game. Um, I looked at the numbers and the minutes at least. They played only 7 players, but every single guy played between 37 and 22 minutes, I think it was. So like they spaced out the minutes very well. If you're only going to play 7 players, to have all of them play at least 20 minutes is pretty crazy. And it just shows that kind of any guy off the bench can fill in a role pretty formidably for this Illini team. But nonetheless, I'd like to see Petrovic play in this one. In the last game, I know you were shouting at the bench. You were like, get Petrovic in the huddle. Get him in the huddle. He can't even get in the huddle. So we'll see. Hopefully, the Illini build a 20-point lead early on and we get to see a few minutes of him, maybe Brandon Lee as well. I think there is still a role for them on this team. And I know it's February at this point, and maybe we're just beating a dead horse, but I think there is still a role for them on this team, and it'll be important come March. Um, I think the best version of them, or the best version of this team, includes them as well. But it has been kind of a question mark every game. Like, is Petrovic going to play? Is he going to have an impact? So we will see on Wednesday night. Um, Anything else you're particularly looking forward to? This game is on Big Ten Network again. That doesn't give us any concerns. This game is at 8 p.m. That doesn't give us any concern.
8 p.m. I'm sick of these late night games, man. It's like 6 p.m., man. Let's run it. Why are we waiting until 8 o'clock to start a basketball game?
I don't mind the 8 p.m. games. I'm up late anyways, but
They think it's the UFC. It's like, come on, man. I'm trying to eat some food, eat some dinner, watch Illinois basketball, relax. It's like, dude, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But this is the thing. Keaton is going to have a really good game because I want him to continue his run right now for Big Ten Player of the Year. And if he's going to do that, this is a game he could score 30 points with his eyes closed. I mean, he could easily get 30. I mean, with his length too, his height, he could get 10 rebounds. I mean, it just depends on how he wants to play it. Does he want to go for 40 points? Does he want to go for another 20, 10, and 10? I mean, however he wants to do it, he can do it and pretty much have his way with this Northwestern team. So it's going to be a huge Keaton game. I could see Andre, taking advantage of Northwestern, but I'm trying to remember the first game. I mean, Tommy, he did really well the first game. Um, Keaton, I'm pretty sure maybe Merck played pretty decently. No, Merck was sick that game. He was
Yeah,
all
Merck had to get the IV, but he did play 39 minutes, I think it was. Like he nearly played the whole game after being questionable. So this was the flu that we got from Iowa that we've now given to Nebraska. And I think it
well,
was,
I'll tell you, the difference is Rank Mast, he's out for like 3 weeks with the flu. Merck was like a little, sluggish. That's the difference.
yeah, we just got tougher guys than they do.
Yeah.
Uh, Keaton did score 22 in their last game against Northwestern. It was a quiet 22. He was 3 for 7 from three, shot 47% from the field. He did have 5 rebounds and 3 assists, so all around a pretty good performance. That was his second highest scoring performance of the season, besides the Ohio State game up until that point. Now, obviously, he had the 46-point game and the 28-point game. So he is on a bit of a tear, as we know. Shot his name up in the lottery pick draft boards. Um, I don't anticipate like a huge Keaton game here. I think you're right in the sense that he can probably get whatever he wants against this Northwestern team. I just think he's going to be more of a facilitator in this one. Just because I just don't like everybody on Northwestern besides Martinelli and maybe Arrington Page. I don't think they have. I mean, it's going to be three guys that are mismatches at all time on the floor for Illinois. Let's get to score predictions here before we wrap this one up. We're really good at talking about this Illinois team for longer than we think we're going to, because I said at the beginning of this one, this would be like a 10-minute podcast episode, but we're going on probably 25 minutes here. Score prediction, line's 18 and a half. Ken Palm officially has the Illini at this. They broke the record again, 130.1. Let me make sure that's correct. Yeah, no, sorry, not even 130.1. 131 flat on the dot. That's the highest scoring team in offensive efficiency for Ken Palm ever since they started in 1997. Makes sense after you beat Nebraska by 9 on the road. What are you thinking for this game if you're putting money on it? I'm not because I can't because it's an Illinois in-state game, but I mean, 18 and a
I,
half. You
yeah,
like
I think
that?
um I think Illinois covers. Like I said, I think it's high scoring game from Illinois, lower scoring game from Northwestern. I think you're going to see the first half maybe a little slow. Second half, things are going to heat up. Again, Keaton, I think you're predicting he's going to facilitate. I'll go the opposite. I'm going to predict he's the leading scorer by a long shot. I'm going to say his stat line 31, 4 rebounds, 4 assists with 1 turnover. Um, Final score prediction. I'm going to go Illinois 88, Northwestern 63. And I think so what's that 25-point victory
25.
for so yeah, I think Illinois is going to spank them, and then you're going to go to Michigan State, go to the Breslin Center, and you're going to. I wonder what that line's going to be. I mean, people online are predicting Illinois is going to be the favorite. I would probably agree in terms of the Vegas odds. In terms of the actual game itself, I think it's 50-50, honestly. I think Michigan State could easily win that game. Apparently, they're pretty dirty. I mean, that is concerning. I mean, I don't want to live in a society where my basketball team's gonna go play somebody and then just get the crap beat out of them just because they're better than them. So it's like that's scary. I hope Keaton doesn't get injured. If Keaton gets injured, I mean, Merck or somebody needs to just swing. I don't care who. I mean, if you get ejected from the game and we lose the game, big deal. But it's like you can't just injure the other team and then be like, oh, it's like no, it's like it's basketball, not the UFC. So either way, they're going to win this game. I mean, I think it's going to be a blowout, whether it's a blowout or whether they win by, you know, the least they're going to win by is like 7. I mean, there's no way it's close at like within a couple points. I can't see that happening. Knock on wood, but it's like, yeah, I'm predicting a blowout, and then you're gonna go into Breslin, and it's gonna be very, very loud and very, very hostile, and it's gonna be a good game.
It is an interesting streak of games the line I have coming up, especially with that Breslin game being like the main event on Saturday night. We'll have a preview for that one, and I do want to dive more into the idea of maybe resting Keaton Wagler in that one. I think that was something sleepers brought up kind of facetiously at first, and then they were like, the more we talk about this, the more this makes sense, actually. But we will do our own discussion on that. I'm gonna give my game prediction here, and I think I said 91-69 the Illini would win against Nebraska, and I called Nebraska's score prediction correctly, which was not as impressive as calling the exact score, obviously, but I said Illinois would hold Nebraska to 69 points. I'm going to get even bolder here. And because last episode I was making comparisons of the '05 team to this year's team. And when the Illini played Northwestern at home in 2005, they beat them 84-48. So I'm going to call that score right now. The Illini win 84-48 at home. There are clips of that team on YouTube. If you look up just like excellent ball movement Illinois basketball, it'll probably like the first result will be their ball movement against Northwestern in that '05 season. Watching them against Nebraska, I got a lot of shades of that. So I'm drawing the comparison once again. And then as I pulled up the box score, this is just an interesting point because I've said it before on this podcast. I think crap, now I'm blanking on it just because I was like, this is going to be important for me to remember. Was it Bill Carmody, who was the previous Northwestern coach? Yeah, Bill Carmody. Um, He was the previous coach at Northwestern before Collins was. And I said in an episode earlier, I think Bill Carmody walked so Brad Underwood could fly. He was like the original recruiter of like these European guys before NIL was a thing, before getting 23-year-old professionals to come to your college was a thing. Uh, I was looking at the box score, and Northwestern had Davor Duvancic and Vedran Vukacic, both from Split, Croatia, from the exact same hometown. Both were starters. They also had Tim Doyle on that team, who everybody knows. I think he works for the Big Ten Network now. He's a pretty big announcer or like color analyst or something. Regardless, 84-48 is the score prediction I'm making. I'm going to get historical here and say that the Illini beat them just like they did in 2005 at home, and it'll just be a ball movement masterclass. They're going to put YouTube highlights on this game for years to come. And when you're watching middle school basketball highlights as a middle schooler and your coach pulls up excellent examples of good ball movement, we're going to see this game on the YouTube.
You know Nick Martinelli?
I don't know
Mm,
him personally. I know his older brother and I know his young or his middle brother. He's the youngest of three.
I got a nickname for him.
Oh boy.
Fartinelli.
So we got Rank Mast and we got Nick Fartinelli.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, Rank Math is his real name, so.
No, no, like
Oh,
stinky.
how about we call him Rank Ass?
I almost said that on the last episode and thought that would have been a little disrespectful, but until he gets
He played like Rank Ass, so that's
yeah,
what we'll call him. He's got to get his
until
game, step his game up a little bit.
until he heals from that flu that would never have killed David Mirkovich for sure, because David Mirkovich would never be caught with the
Mm-mm.
flu. Um, until he heals from that, we can call him that, but he is a pretty good player nonetheless. Anyways, I'm going 84-48 Northwestern. I think your score prediction was 22 points, but for the Illini, 24 points,
No, it was 25 points.
25 points. Okay, I was in the ballpark.
88 to 63.
Okay. If any of us get this right, it'll be the first time all year and it'll be really impressive. But I think either way, we're in the ballpark of where this game might be. What's gonna suck is one day when we like give a huge score prediction and we both predict 20-point wins for the Illini, and we end up getting posted on one of those like hype videos for the other team, and it's like three guys in a row, like, oh, Purdue's gonna win this one for sure. Oh, Purdue got this one all the way. And then it's just Northwestern highlights of them beating Purdue, or like in the
It's
article.
just me going Fartinelli,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
No,
there's a
it's gonna be
Martinelli
bad.
highlight reel.
I think as a YouTube channel and as a podcast, we will have to take the highs with the lows, and we'll have
Is
to.
it bad that I watch these Illinois hype videos and I expect to hear a clip from our show in the beginning, like when they play the little podcast clips of like, oh, it's going to be a tough game, it's going to be a good one. Am I weird for expecting to hear our voice?
Right now, they're just pumping out Jeremy Werner and Kyle Tosk
We
clips.
gotta
So
comment and be like, yo, listen to our pod. We have hot takes. You could put the clips in the highlight video.
if we want to get exposed for being wrong, maybe, but nonetheless, the Illini will face Northwestern on Wednesday night. I'm looking forward to that one. It is game two. Um, we'll have a preview before the Michigan State game because obviously that's a really big one for the Illini. And we can't skip previews for any of the other games. It's just hard to do previews sometimes when we've already played these teams. It's like, what else do we talk about, especially if we've already beaten them? Um, but hopefully you guys at least enjoyed some of the content this time around and we gave you a decent explanation of what this Northwestern team is right now at the current time. But we will find out on Wednesday.
We're almost at 100 subscribers too, so subscribe to the channel. You could be our 100 subscriber, and we can have you on the show and interview you about Illinois basketball.
I think if we get 100 subscribers, we have to give the 100th like something. I don't know what it will be, but up,
I
up,
don't
and
know.
away from here on out for the Chillinois basketball podcast. And one more shout out to Everett because last game when we did face Northwestern, he did shout us out on the middle of the street. Um, and we didn't even have the Balkan suits on at that point. He just recognized us in the crowd. He said Chillinois or shout out Chillinois podcast. So shout out Everett. Hope you're watching this Northwestern game tomorrow. This one will be at home. Um, any last closing thoughts before we wrap this one up, Noah?
No, I think it'll be a good game. I'm expecting an Illinois win, and I'm expecting some good highlights at the end of it. I think it's going to be, a masterclass from Illinois. It could very well be their best performance of the year.
I don't know about best performance of the year. I think they might be a little sleepy in this one, but I do agree. I think this game's gonna have some highlights where we're just like, that was incredible passing, or holy crap, Keaton, I can't believe. I want Keaton to have a dunk. Keaton hasn't had a dunk all season. That would be cool. He tried to finish at the rim
Half
again.
the guys on this team are not even capable of dunking it. I don't know if Merck physically can dunk it. Every time he looks like he's about to dunk it, he does some weird finger roll. And it's like, dude, just slam that damn ball in that hoop like Kofi. Like, I want you to slam it in there. Big Z, he slams that bitch in there. Big T, he'll slam it in. Benham Rickhouse, he'll slam it down. Merck is just like, oh, I got to do this fancy European stuff. It's like, dude, don't. Just come on. Get it in the hole.
I'm not sure Merck can dunk, but I mean, I'm not doubting his ability to. I just don't think he can like poster somebody.
He
But
can't
hopefully
run either. He runs like a penguin. I mean,
does run like a penguin, that's for sure. But he loves being the villain, and there won't be much of an opportunity for him to be the villain on Wednesday in his own home stadium. But um, it'll be a fun game. I'm looking forward to it. I really hope Northwestern isn't the game we have to recap and be like, well, the winning streak is over. But we will find out and we will see. Hopefully, we come back to you guys with, I don't know, a
my
breaking.
prediction right now, if we, and this is completely, looking ahead and, not giving Northwestern any respect, but assuming we win this game, which I think the ESPN 8% chance is even too high. I mean, again, knock on wood, but I just don't see a world where Illinois loses this game. If we win at Michigan State, there is a very, very good possibility, like greater than 75% chance that we go undefeated through the rest of the Big Ten Conference. Because I just think this team is too good to lose any of the you should win games. Like any of these games where it's like, oh yeah, Illinois should win that. They're not going to lose those games. The only two games that remain that I think we could lose are Michigan State and Michigan. And I think the Michigan State game is the tougher of the two, and that's the one I'm super 50-50 about. But if we can win that game, I think there's more than like a 75% chance we don't lose for the rest of the year. So I'm high on the Illini right now.
That's certainly a bold prediction, but we're all about bold predictions here on this podcast.
I mean,
Uh,
sleepers is like yeah, Illinois. I mean, they're like, oh, all these teams could lose another 2 or 3 games. I don't see Illinois losing another 2 or 3 games. I genuinely don't see that happening. Maybe I'd say one at most
I
would be
think
my
they said
bet.
I think they said 17-3 was like the
Right.
mark
And,
that
and that'd mean Illinois would have to lose 2 more. I mean, I don't
I
see it
thought that
happening.
I thought that was pretty accurate, but we will see in the next few weeks.
And I don't see Nebraska losing another game either. I think if anything, they're going to beat Purdue because that's really their only tough game left. I could easily see Nebraska winning out. I think if anything of the four of or the 5 teams, Purdue's going to be the one to fall and drop and not finish very well. You could see Wisconsin finish ahead of Purdue.
That's a bold take, but like I said, we're all about bold takes here on this podcast. We got 9 more Big Ten games remaining in the regular season, and we're not skipping a single preview or recap, Noah, because we're not Rink Mass. We're David Mirkovich.
Hmm.
But we
Yeah.
will find out if the Illini continue this win streak, get it 12 games hopefully on Wednesday night. Shout out to my friend Ben Davis. It's his birthday Wednesday night, but he's a Northwestern fan, so I really hope the Illini ruin his birthday for him. Um, I'm looking forward to it, but it is another Big Ten game, and you can never down. You can never look down on those Big Ten games with too much. I don't know. You can't get in your head about them. You got to win those games, and we'll certainly find out if the Illini do that Wednesday night. ILL.
I